about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And good Wednesday morning, everyone. Welcome to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook with you this morning. Don't forget, we are live on Facebook, and we are also live on our YouTube channel. So you can check that out, and then you can go back and revisit this interview anytime you want to do that. And today we have some very special folks in studio with us this morning for our Community Spotlight Pregnancy Support Network that does some wonderful things. And if you haven't heard about the things that they do, then certainly we want to share that with you this morning. In studio with me for this first half hour, Kayla Atchison, who is the CEO. How are you?
Good morning, Pam. I'm doing well.
Welcome. And also Paula Mastriani, Executive Director of the Pregnancy and Parenting Center. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Pam. How are you?
We've known each other for a very long time, and so good to see you as well.
Thank you.
Kayla, let's first of all talk about Pregnancy Support Network in general. Give us an idea of what the mission is there.
Yes. So our mission is to save babies, transform lives, and restore families through the power of Jesus Christ. So we are a faith-based nonprofit organization who is a network of pregnancy centers. You may be familiar with the Pregnancy and Parenting Center, where Paula is the executive director of. You also may be familiar with our center in Akron Pregnancy Services. Both of those centers have been in existence for 40 years. And about 5 years ago, we decided to team up as a regional pregnancy support network. That way we could serve more families and be a greater impact to the communities that we were already in and kind of expand some of our services.
Do you find it it's a challenge to get people to know that you exist and to really, get them involved and understand what you offer?
Yes, absolutely. There is a common saying that the Pregnancy and Parenting Center is the best kept secret in Stark County. And that is one of the reasons why we wanted to come on your show, Pam, because we know that you spotlight so wonderfully what's going on in our community. And we are blessed that this year over 1,000 clients visited our centers. So it's not a secret to some, but we want to serve 1,000 more next year. We have that capacity and we have that calling to truly help not just pregnant women. And I think a lot of people think that we're just for pregnant women, but we also have a fatherhood initiative, as well as something that you'll hear a little bit more about, our Hope and Healing, which really just helps women who are struggling through grief of any kind. And I think Stephanie's going to touch a little bit on the miscarriage piece, which we are seeing more and more women, unfortunately, suffering from miscarriages.
And I love hearing the fatherhood part of it, because it takes two, right?
Absolutely.
That's important. That's really important. So January is Sanctity of Human Life Month. Explain how that fits into your mission.
Yes. So Sanctity of Human Life Month was actually originally done in 1984 by President Ronald Reagan. And really, it was a time that we as a country could stop and pause and really recognize the dignity of the human being. And that's regardless of location, whether that's a baby in the womb or it's a human being here on Earth. And that really, that holistic approach is how we operate at the Pregnancy Support Network, and specifically here in Canton at the Pregnancy and Parenting Center.
And because sometimes when a woman finds out she's pregnant, it's not always good in their mind. They're scared. They are dealing with maybe other things in their life. And that's where you guys come in, right?
Absolutely. And our goal really is to equip and empower women to make the right choice for them. And so we kind of go through that process and help them envision what a life would look like with a child. And if being a parent is not something that they feel at this time that they're capable of, we also are able to connect them with adoption resources in the community.
So a lot of help out there. That's always a good thing. As far as statistics go, this is economically challenging time for a lot of folks. I mean, so basically that's another answer that you have for people, right?
Yes, and material goods is a really kind of an entry point for what we're doing in our organization. So people come to get diapers, formula, clothing. We even go past 1 year, which a lot of organizations really do focus on that 1 year and under. and they get introduced to our staff members. They are exposed to education courses, and really we see people stay long past the material good portion of their journey because they really found a community that is empowering them.
So, how do people find you? Your location, information, and things like that?
Yes, so we are located on 22nd Street, as well as on Cleveland Avenue, and you can always visit us at thepregnancyandparenting.com.
All right, and I'm going to bring Paula into the conversation now because your official title, Executive Director of the Pregnancy and Parenting Center. So tell me about the center.
Correct. Well, I have the Stark County operation, sans the medical piece that you're going to be hearing about from Candy Durbin in the next half hour. But yes, I have the classes, all of the other education, excuse me, the goods. The one thing that Kayla wanted probably to mention is that we have a Learn to Earn program. So you just don't get a handout, you get a hand up. And so people can come in, and by learning through us, they get what's called baby bucks. And then they can buy everything from formula to diapers. We do give out a lot of diapers just free, but those kind of things. And I had one woman stop me a while back, and she said that her child's 2 years old, and that's when they typically age out. But she said, I have never had to buy a thing for the first 2 years of my child's life because of you. Now, this is a power user. You know, she's here every week. She's now helping teach classes, all of that. But we are there for you because, like you said, Pam, people are in crisis. If they had an unplanned pregnancy, what am I going to do now? I can't have this baby. I don't have the money. I don't have the support, on and on. But really, when it comes down to it, I hate that we're a good kept secret because we're there for you.
Yeah.
And no socioeconomic, you can be wealthy and come to us, and you can have challenges with poverty and come to us. So the nice thing is we've just expanded recently. We are on 22nd Street for our general mothership, if you will, but we're also on Cleveland Avenue, right across from the post office, where we have our Eva Clinics has 2 different units, and then my operation has the other 2. Unit 4 is just being done right now. We're opening that up to be classrooms. So we're trying to be more inclusive as to where the clients are.
So how does it work? How does, somebody finds you, they decide I need to get some help. How do they, make that happen?
We have had people walk in, literally. There was a woman when I first started, I mean, this was a big for me. She walked in with her baby and said, I can't do this anymore.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Took this baby and handed it to one of our advocates. And they, of course, did what they do. They talked to her, whisked her away, separated her from the child, took the child, loved on the child, but went back and talked to this woman and talked her literally off the cliff.
Off the ledge, yeah.
Yeah. And she became a steady comer, and she, of course, took her baby home with her, but she knew there was people there for support. Now, you can call in, text in, go on our website and reply through there. So we'll take you anywhere you want to come to us.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story because that's a life you're talking about right there.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. We have so many stories. They're incredible. I want to touch just a minute on the fatherhood piece that you said, delve into that. It's not a new initiative, but in our world, it's becoming bigger. Last year at CareNet, it was one of the focal points of that conference. And we are, of course, following suit and trying to build up this initiative. It is very difficult, though, because stigma, unknowing, all of that follows men. So I would beseech any man that's listening to this, if you've got an abortion in your background or even just general healing, miscarriage as well, they're the forgotten. Mm-hmm. Great story about a gentleman named Shane that volunteers with us. He didn't know that his young girlfriend aborted until 20 years later. When he was told by the woman's sister that, did you know that, Jamie aborted your child? And he was wrecked. And Stephanie will hopefully talk more about that. But Shane now volunteers with us when he can. And he is on film just sobbing.
Yeah.
They're forgotten.
Because they are forgotten because people always think it's the women. And, they don't realize that there are fathers and men out there who, feel as deeply as the women do, right?
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
you said, it takes two.
Yeah, it sure does. It sure does. All right, we have a lot more to talk about, and we will do that. We're going to take our first break. We're talking about Pregnancy Support Network and all of the different things that they do here on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
The Pregnancy and Parenting Center is here to support you with resources, baby supplies, and parenting education, all at no cost. Earn points by attending free classes, from what to expect when expecting to fun groups for moms and dads. Then use your points on things your baby needs in our baby boutique. Call or text 330-455-7500 or learn more at thepregnancyandparentingcenter.com.
Crown keeps you warm and we keep you cool.
We're here for you day or night.
Winter Northeast Ohio doesn't mess around. One day you're brushing off a little frost, and the next you're shoveling 8 inches of lake effect snow before breakfast. When the cold really settles in, your home needs a furnace that's ready for anything. That's where Crown Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing comes in. If your furnace is older, noisy, or struggling to keep up, now is the time to call Crown. Their experts will make sure your system is running safely and efficiently all winter long. And if it's time to replace that outdated furnace, Crown can install a new, high-efficiency system that keeps you warm while keeping utility costs down. Winter is long. Your comfort shouldn't be a question mark. With Crown, estimates are always free, and service is always reliable. Call Crown Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing at 330-992-4994 or online at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling. You'll be sure you have the best. Crown Heating and Cooling. Call us now. We'll do the rest. Crown Heating and
Hey, the Roadman Kenny Rhoda here. You work hard, you push your limits. Now recover like a pro at Recharge Canton. It's not a spa, it's an integrated wellness studio to help you recover, refresh, and recharge at the cellular level. Unlimited access to red, infrared, and blue light therapy, full spectrum infrared sauna, cold plunge, and contrast therapy, plus compression and zero gravity massage, and much more. All designed to help you recover smarter, refresh deeper, and recharge faster. Perfect for athletes, busy professionals, and anyone serious about feeling their best. Get an unlimited day pass for just $50. Recharge Canton, 8328 Cleveland Avenue Northwest, North Canton. Give them a call at 330-526-6450.
Right now on 330 Deals, get an unlimited day pass to Recharge Canton, a $50 value for just $25 at 330deals.com. That's 330deals.com.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZzzQuil Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZzzQuil Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Nearly 100 Stark County football players made it to the NFL, and 5 returned home to live in football immortality. The Pro Football Hall of Fame invites you to celebrate Stark County Proud, an immersive new exhibit honoring our community's place in football history. From local high school fields to NFL stadiums, our community's legacy shines in every corner of this exhibit for a limited time at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
They say nothing's free in this world.
Anybody want a free sample?
Oh, our website is.
Get free stuff.
Check out all this stuff, all for free. News, sports stories, podcasts, and more. And it's free.
All at WHBC.com.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And this is Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. Pam Cook with you this morning, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and you can find us there. And also, by the way, it'll be posted on our website as well, so you'll be able to find it there too. So, but we've been having a great conversation with Pregnancy Support Network. Kayla Atchison is the CEO, and Paula Mastriani, Executive Director of the Pregnancy and Parenting Center. And we're just talking about all of the services. And you were talking about people helping out, and so you probably need volunteers, I would imagine.
Oh, we'll take you for about anything that you can do, frankly.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of volunteer opportunities. We'll just start in the center itself. So with the educational piece, we have general volunteers that can do anything from watching children to helping us clean to doing data input. But the real sweet spot is if you've got a heart for this, becoming an advocate.
Okay.
That is a trained person. We are not therapists, but they are trained in how to bring services, how to talk to a person that's in crisis, and then just teach through the word of the Lord, frankly.
Yeah.
And it's a great program. We've been around for 40 years. We celebrated 40 years this year. Can you believe it?
No, I mean,
You
that's
remember
amazing.
crisis pregnancy? You and me, we
Yes.
go back to that
Yes.
time. Yeah, that was our humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
But so there's lots of opportunity there, and I want to impress that advocacy is a big need of ours there. So if you have some time, even one day,
Yeah.
we'll train you, give you all the tools you need, and take you on. Then we also have other volunteer opportunities in both. Let my colleagues hand off to that with Eva Women's Clinic as well as Hope and Healing. But otherwise, we just have to operate the center. So there are churches and other organizations that come in and do serve days. So if you do weeding and if you like to garden, we have all those kind of things.
Yeah.
If you like to play with kids, if you like to enter data, we have all of those needs and opportunities, which if they go, I don't know if we have them on our website. I don't think we do just yet. We're revamping our website. But if they want to call, we can send out a packet that gives volunteer opportunities to help us out.
Yeah, that's great. What would the phone number be?
330-455-7500 is our main line.
Okay, that's easy enough. And I know on the website it does say volunteer opportunities.
Yes.
But so the website so far has got a lot of really good information on it, I think. that
It
people
does.
can,
Websites every 5 years or so. It needs
need
a
little
freshening.
zip. That's right. I
yeah.
gotcha. I feel you. We do the same thing.
Yep.
Well, I think a lot of people kind of hesitate to volunteer because they think, oh, I don't know enough in order to educate others.
Mm-hmm.
But most of us have lived experience, and a lot of us have been parents. And really, we even have our advocates who come into the center to teach, and they say, I wish I would have known this when I was a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And so we use an educational video series called Bright Course, and it really does help you walk through the different parenting techniques, whether that is, dealing with a child who's misbehaving or going through the different stages of development when you're dealing with an infant. And I think what you really need is a humble heart and a servant mind, and we would love to have you.
Yes, I was going to say, just you need a heart that, because
Oh, yeah.
when you speak from the heart to people and then you learn the way to do it,
And you hear some tough things. We've got
I'm
people that
sure.
are in crisis in other ways too. So you have to be almost a counselor to that. We do a lot of handing off to other community places for support. And like Kayla said, that if you don't want to carry, we even have adoption possibilities.
Yeah.
We just need to save that baby.
Yeah, right. And so as you're looking at this, and people are coming in, you're saying, they age out at like 2 years old. What kinds of things are they coming in for those 2 years? What are they getting when they come in for those 2 years?
And talk about the classes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that our classes are very vast. They range from, development of a child in the womb to how to manage your finances. And so these are classes that many of us need because they're not taught in school. And if you don't have a parent or a parent figure in your life to help you walk and navigate through this journey, then you come to us. And that is what I really have seen, is that people have said, I had nowhere else to go, so I came here. And that's when we know that we're making a true impact in the community. And one of the most beautiful things that we have at both our center here in Canton and in Akron is our moms group. And so people just come for community. They come to interact with other moms who have maybe walked the journey seasons before them. And just, we live in a society, I think, that are so hungry for community, for true community, where you're one-on-one, where you're not just behind a screen or on a telephone. And so we get to provide that opportunity.
And also, I don't know how to really word this because I don't want to offend anybody, of course. But when you look at say somebody our age, Paula, we had our experiences in raising our children, giving birth, all of the things that we went through, the tough moments and things like that. And then there's a younger generation that has their own, way of doing things. Things are so new. I look at something and go, what the heck? Why didn't
it's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, why didn't they
Crazy.
have that when I was, raising my kids? But isn't it nice to join those two
It really
generations?
is. Well, if you remember back in our day, we had an organization called Mother Mentor.
Yeah.
And then when all the government funding broke down, a lot of those kind of supports went away. Mm-hmm. And so I see us as picking up where that left off, really. Just teaching women and men how to be better parents.
Yeah.
When my son was born, I remember first time I came home, my husband's at work, I'm looking at this child and thought, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This is
It's
overwhelming.
scary.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was raised in a good household.
Yeah,
So,
right.
So those are the kind of things our women oftentimes don't have that. And they also find camaraderie and networking, we use in the business world, right? But they find friendships with others that have lasted decades now. And they come back. We've seen people come back now to teach after their child is teenager or even
That's
adult.
great.
So, you kind of stay with us for life if you have an appetite for it.
Yeah, because
it's really very cool.
I think the other important thing is that people understand they're not alone.
Yes.
And,
amen.
even if it's somebody, later in life, they say, yeah, I went through some tough times too. So it's not just happening right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as people are, maybe somebody's sitting out there saying they have a daughter, they have, a niece, family members that they are seeking help for.
Yes.
What's the best way for them to approach somebody that might be in crisis or need some help, would you say?
The best way to approach us, again, through what we talked about, but frankly, when we're out in the community, I get people all the time when they find out what I do.
Yeah.
If it's just serendipitously at a grocery line, we joke because when I came I've been here 2 years now, and before I came, the dog park was where I connected with people. I would be at the dog park and say where I worked, and then everybody has somebody. I've got a daughter or my friend or
Yeah.
whatever. Those serendipitous connections come all the time when they find out what you do, and people don't know that there are services here, and they don't go far enough to find out where to get them. It's rare that somebody, when you're on the precipice there, you're not thinking typically, particularly when
Yeah.
you're a young person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us a phone number and way to get in touch with you guys again if there's somebody out there.
Again, our line is 330-455-7500, but I oftentimes give my personal phone number, and I'm happy to do that. My personal line is 330-754-9699. So if you need help, if you need support, if you just want to talk, if you want to donate your time, call me. I'm your girl.
There you go. Very good. All right, we're going to take our break and get to the news here, and then we'll come back and talk about hope and healing and Eva's Women's Clinic as well. Lots more to discuss. The Pregnancy Support Network here on 1480 WHBC.
You are rock.
Eva Women's Clinic provides medical-grade pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, and limited STI testing, all at no cost to patients. Our compassionate medical team is here to support you at our clinics in Canton and Akron, or on our mobile unit serving Stark and Summit counties. Call or text 330-915-6520 to schedule an appointment, or learn more at evawomensclinic.com.
Okay, so your trophy's in the cabinet. Business is great. The growing pains are all in the past, and you're feeling optimistic. Now you're in big trouble. Because truth is, no matter how well you slayed your last quarter, the next one could slay you right back. And without a cohesive strategy and a scalable idea you can rely on, nothing is certain except uncertainty. Which is why for your next rodeo, you need the Next Rodeo. The Next Rodeo is a true creative partner that brings next-level creative thinking and production quality to companies who didn't believe they could afford it. So you can keep your company growing without outgrowing the dream that started it. The Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want is one great scalable idea. Get the full story at thenextrodeo.com.
If you win playing the new Ultimate $5 million scratch-off, you don't have to tell anyone. But there will be signs. Signs like courtside seats. Signs like a water slide attached to your bedroom. Signs like upgrading your clunker to something less clunky. With over $200 million in prizes and the best odds in Ohio history to win $5 million, this is your sign to play the Ultimate $5 million scratch-off. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Back by popular demand, pros pick DuraCube or Red Out Softener Salt is buy 12, get one free at Verndale Water Experts. Stop in or convenient home delivery available.
Ferndale's Water Center.
It's Kenny and JT.
From the Hall of Fame class of 1991, John Hanna joining us.
Your brother Charlie, you mentioned earlier. I read that he wins the Super Bowl, but you get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I'm trying to get traded. The rumor mill is that Al Davis wants me. In '83, I decided, well, I'm going to hold out and go to the Raiders. Charlie's holding out. He's at Tampa. Charlie loves Tampa. Never wants to leave Tampa. I said, what happened? He said, I got traded. I said, where'd you get traded? He said, Raiders. I said, you sorry son of a gun. You stole my job.
Kenny and JT. Afternoons at 3 on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
WHBC AM Canton. Reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, a house fire in Cleveland early yesterday morning left 6 adults and 2 children displaced and a firefighter injured. Happened on West 136th Street. The fire started in an upstairs bedroom. One firefighter fell through the attic floor to the second floor. He had to be checked out at the hospital. Officials estimate the fire caused about $200,000 in damage. No word yet on a cause. A large Russian aerial strike on Ukraine has left half of Kyiv's residential buildings without heating or power as temperatures hover around 10 below Celsius. President Vladimir Zelensky said repelling the attack cost Ukraine about $80 million, and that's a significant number of targets that had been intercepted. Kyiv residents are finding solutions to try and cope with all the power cuts, such as using portable stoves and trying to bring in generators. In sports, Canton Central Catholic beat St. Thomas last night 78-33. In other games, Northwest over Orville 66-54. Louisville over Marlington. You can find all the scores and schedules at WHBCSports.com. Ohio State men's basketball beat Minnesota last night 82-74. They'll play at number 3 Michigan on Friday night. Cavs are at Charlotte tonight, 7 o'clock tip-off right here on 1480 WHBC. And at WHBCSports.com tonight, it's the Hoover Lady Vikings at Jackson. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station. News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Your AccuWeather forecast. Today will be breezy, but not as cold, with snow and flurries expected at times, starting in the late morning, leading to an accumulation of a coating to an inch. Roads might become slippery. The high temperature will reach 36 degrees. Tonight will remain breezy in the evening, otherwise mostly cloudy with a few snow showers later on. The low will be 27 degrees. Tomorrow is forecasted to be mostly cloudy with afternoon breeziness and a high of 31 degrees. With the AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Old Man Winter! That's right! I fill your driveways with ice and snow. What are you going to do about it? Nothing! That's what...
Your AccuWeather forecast. Canton's Morning News with Pam Cook.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight. Good morning, everyone. Pam Cook with you this morning. Don't forget, live on Facebook, live on our YouTube channel, and the whole thing will be posted on our website a little bit later on this morning, so you can check it out there as well. We've been talking Pregnancy Support Network. Thank you to Kayla and Paula. Got us started off in the first half hour, and now we're going to talk with Stephanie Liberatore, who is Director of Hope and Healing. Welcome, Stephanie. and
you.
also Candy Durbin, Medical Services Director at Eva Women's Clinic. How are you, Candy?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. So glad to have you ladies in as well. Let's first start with you, Stephanie, and talk about Hope and Healing. Explain what that is.
It's one of the best. No, it's not a best kept secret. You know, everybody needs to know this, but Hope and Healing is the restoration part of the Pregnancy Support Network. So we focus on grief and loss issues. It could be loss from sexual brokenness or sexual abuse or miscarriage or abortion or general grief issues, which could encompass relationship struggles, death of a loved one. So those are the issues that we focus on. Most of them are female driven, but we do offer restoration services for men too in the area of abortion loss.
And I can imagine that people think of the general, in general terms of grief issues, like loss from a miscarriage and things like that. But like you said, it goes way beyond that. There's so much more to it, because maybe you don't even realize that you're having suffering from it, right?
Well, honestly, that's a universal thing that we all go through. We don't go through life without it.
Right.
You know,
That's
we
right.
all experience
That's right.
grief on some level, and most of us have not grown up with knowing how to grieve. We haven't seen people in our family that have grieved well, and so we just kind of adopt the ways that they are grieving, which a lot of times it's, my parents' generation was like, we stuffed it. We were strong. We pushed forward. We put on our boots and just
move ahead
and move past it.
Yeah.
But all the while, we're really struggling on the inside.
Yeah, that's tough. And it's great that we bring that out. You bring that out in the open for folks, because they can help themselves.
Right.
Have hope and healing.
That's right. That's right. That's the goal.
So talk about the new online group, Women of Worth.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes. Women of Worth. We've actually had it for 4 years. It's Women of Worth After Abortion Support Meeting. So we do weekly group meetings. We offer retreats as well. But this is specifically an in-person support meeting where somebody could take her first giant step forward to getting some relief from their grief, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be somebody who is taking that next step. She's already in process. She's on that healing journey, but she just needs that other support, because we're not one and done in any kind of loss. We are continuing to move forward. We go deeper. So Women of Worth gives that opportunity for women to come and just unpack it with other people who have had that same kind of experience. We talk about things like anger or triggers or managing triggers or anniversary grief. What is it? How do we get through it? All kinds of things. And so we've been meeting in person on the third Wednesday of every month, which is tonight. But we are introducing an online meeting as well. That'll be on the first Wednesdays of every month. So our first one will be coming up in a couple of weeks on February 3rd at 6:30 p.m.
Do they have to sign up ahead of time or do anything like that?
Yes, we vet them. We want to make sure that this is a safe, confidential, and so I want to know who's coming. So the very first time that they want to come, they need to reach out to info@hopefordeeperhealing.com, and then they just fill out a little form, and then we'll send them the link to do the online, or if they want to come in person, then we give them that address.
That's easy.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. What do you see as the biggest challenge that women are coming to these groups with?
It's grief. They're struggling with a lot of sometimes they're struggling with guilt, sometimes they're struggling with shame, memories. Time does not heal all wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to think that, we've been told that, but it doesn't. The wounds get cold, but they don't go away. And so sometimes even we think, oh, that was so long ago. Why would I ever want to, stir that up? In fact, we have many women who come to us 20 years later, 30 years later, 10 years later.
Yeah.
But now we're getting a lot more that are coming 3 months later.
Wow.
5 months later, a year later. So they're coming sooner. And we're here to help. It's a place where there is no judgment. We don't discuss politics. There's no judgment. It's like we're all here doing the same thing, healing from the same thing.
Right. It's not people preaching at you. It's
Nope,
just you
not
being,
at all. Not at all.
You being that person. And you also do a similar thing for women who have experienced miscarriage, right?
Yes. That's a new program. Really excited about this program because abortion is the same way, but like with miscarriage, it's often an unseen and lonely experience for the female, for the woman, and the men. I mean, they grieve differently, men and women do. And so they just don't have an opportunity to really grieve. Sometimes people will say unhelpful and hurtful things, and so they have to unpack that. And we just kind of believe these lies that, well, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe it was my fault, or, there's all kinds of things that we help them unpack. And then during the course of that program, which is 6 weeks, we give them an opportunity to honor and dignify their child or their children in a very special memorial service. It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
And there's always a lot of tears because they're able to, maybe if they have their first image of an ultrasound, maybe that's what they bring along, or maybe they were given little booties, or they bought a onesie in anticipation of that child. They're able to bring these elements that represent their child and then formally just really dignify and honor them. It's quite beautiful and very healing.
Yeah, and and you talked about generations before. We were talking about generations and how generations handled things. Paula was mentioning that too. Back in the day, women who had miscarriages, it was just kind of, okay, yeah, I had a miscarriage. It was almost like, you just put it out of your mind, moved on with the next thing, which was not a good thing for those women. When they think back on it, that can be really tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
And so we had a pilot run of this group, this Juniper, and we had somebody who had had a loss about a year ago, and then other two were 10 years and 20 years out.
Wow.
So, and you would think that the ones who had many years out wouldn't be, moved emotionally, or that they had anything else to work through.
Yeah.
But the reality is there's always something, to work through. And the one who had her loss very dramatically about 10 years ago, she says, this just helped me to really connect deeper, grieve more. And then she said, I understand my husband more. And it really had a little healing, because when, women and men often grieve differently. Mm-hmm. And so the woman can think, he doesn't understand me, or why doesn't he think that this is important? We lost our child, and so forth.
Right.
But we understand that, men and women just grieve differently.
They do.
And they hurt too. Men hurt too.
And you know what? The lack of communication, because women think this and men think that, but maybe that's not actually the case, right?
Yes, right.
So you have groups for men as well.
We do. We have a group for men for abortion loss. And Paula had talked about Shane, and what an amazing, and I can say his name because he has shared his story publicly. So, I do have his permission to use his story. But, he heard me speaking at a church one Sunday, and he said that was me. And it was something way back in his story that, we just don't let go of. There is this need to have closure and to work through different things, because loss affects men, how they see their future, their purpose, how they parent, all these kinds of things, how they relate to their spouses. So it's really important for men to come through something like this too and restore.
And maybe some are thinking, will I ever have that chance again?
Right.
Something to,
Right.
maybe if they're, thinking in their minds, if they're a certain age or whatever. But yeah, I would imagine, I think that's a really beneficial thing that people should know about.
Yeah. And there's, for men, maybe they didn't know, about that
right.
abortion. Maybe they didn't know and they found out later, or maybe he pressured her. So there's a different ways that
Yes.
men can,
Different dichotomy there.
Exactly. And so depending on what that is, it doesn't take away the grief, but they still need to work through that. The
All right.
motivation behind making that decision.
And get to that point of healing. That's important. All right, we're going to take our final break this morning, and I don't want Candy to think we forgot about her. Candy's here, and she's the Medical Services Director with Eva Women's Clinic. We'll talk to her here when we return on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Becoming a dad doesn't come with a handbook, and for a lot of new fathers, there wasn't a dad at home to learn from growing up. So how do you figure it out? Hi, I'm Jeff Trapani, Director of the Dad Project. At the Pregnancy and Parenting Center, dads can take free classes, connect with experienced fathers, and learn alongside other men who want to do it right. Be the best dad you can be. Call or text 330-455-7500 or visit thepregnancyandparentingcenter.com.
When you're craving authentic Italian made from the heart, there's only one place to go. Palumbo's Italian Restaurant. Palumbo's delivers flavor in every bite. It's no surprise they were named the 2025 Best Italian Restaurant in Stark County. Palumbo's is also expanding with the new catering location opening in February, designed to serve events of all sizes and occasions. Join them for lunch or dinner Monday through Saturday at 4100 Portage Street Northwest in North Canton, or visit PalumbosItalianRestaurant.com. Palumbo's Italian Restaurant, where tradition, taste, and excellence come together.
Mix 94.1 and WHBC teaming up to bring you 330 Deals.
Get more, spend less.
With insane deals on some of your favorite local restaurants and businesses.
Activities, events, services, and more.
From right here in your own backyard.
330deals.com.
It's all the stuff you already love.
At prices that feel way better.
Eat more, do more, go more without blowing the budget.
With new deals every week.
It's 330deals.com.
I don't typically make New Year's resolutions, but this year I need a change. I need to get healthy, work out, lose some weight, and get back on track. But figuring out what to eat is my biggest issue. I need to eat the right food so that I stay full and have energy all day long. I know the solution: Omaha Steaks. Starting the year strong is easier and more delicious with premium portioned proteins from Omaha Steaks. From handcrafted USDA certified tender steaks to gourmet burgers, versatile chicken and pork, seafood, and more. They have an unmatched variety of high quality proteins that everyone loves. And when you deserve that cheat day, and we all do from time to time, they also offer desserts and easy to prepare comfort food. Support your fresh start with high-quality proteins from Omaha Steaks. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com and get an extra $35 off with promo code SKY at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code SKY. Terms apply. See site for details.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Timken, Belden, Umstad, Schreiber, these are just some of the community leaders who help bring the Pro Football Hall of Fame to Stark County. The Hall is proud to celebrate this area's football legacy with its new limited time exhibit, Stark County Proud. From the birth of a league to the 5 Hall of Famers from our local high schools, you'll see how the game and Stark County are forever bonded together. Now for a limited time at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Just use your Alexa or Google Home to listen to 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
In our final segment, Spotlight on this Wednesday morning, Pregnancy Support Network. And before I start talking with Candy, Stephanie, if folks want to get more information when it comes to hope and healing, how do they go about doing that?
They can reach out to us through our website, which is hopefordeeperhealing.com.
Okay.
They can also call or text us 330-834-8224.
All right, and you can get more information
Yes.
that way. You'll help them out. All right, so next we have the Medical Services Director for Eva Women's Clinic, Candy Durbin. And you've been doing this, you said, 13 years as the executive, but you were a volunteer.
Yes.
First off, tell me about that. How did the transition and the decision for you to join on?
Well, it was really no decision. I loved it so much. How I started volunteering was really weird. I was a late in life nursing student at Malone, and I missed a clinical rotation at the hospital for OB. And my professor, and it's, you can't make those up because you're at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
My professor said, well, if you'll go over and volunteer one clinic session at that time it was Pregnancy Choices, I believe, then I will count that. So I'm like, okay. And I went over and I just instantly fell in love with everything that they do. At that point, I was only seeing the clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, well, the minute I get my degree, I'm coming back and volunteering, which I did.
Okay.
And then I learned to ultrasound. So I did that for a couple years. And then as the medical services director was moving out, it just kind of transitioned that she asked me if I was interested. And I was like, oh, yes, absolutely. And so that was about 13 years ago.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So Eva's Women's Clinic. Tell me some of the services that are offered.
Okay. Well, we do pregnancy testing, of course. And then if that pregnancy test is positive, we do ultrasounds, limited obstetric ultrasound, which means we are going to find out, babies in the uterus. We can measure, see how far along they are, and is there a heartbeat. We're not doing gender. We're not doing deep stuff that you would do, at the doctor at 20 weeks.
Right.
We have very early testing and ultrasound. So that's just our focus, is getting girls early and getting them in care.
And the purpose for maybe if they don't know if they're pregnant, to come there and find out and then
absolutely
utilize all the services.
Absolutely. And the really cool part is we can do all that in one appointment.
Wow.
So as we were kind of talking during the break, it used to be before Eva just celebrated its 6th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
We opened in January of 2020 as a complete medical clinic. It used to be that we would have ultrasounds, pregnancy tests, and like STD clinic in the offices of the pregnancy center randomly, like when we had volunteers who would ultrasound, or when we had volunteers, nurses that would come in and do pregnancy tests. So your appointment was you never got all your information at once. And sometimes you'd get the pregnancy test and then schedule an ultrasound but never come back because it's so long, And so when we opened Eva, it was with the idea that we have trained nurses, ultrasound techs. We have several RDMS, which is the hospital-trained ultrasound techs.
Okay.
And so we have all of that available in one appointment. So when she comes in, she may not even know she's pregnant. When she leaves, she has all the information that she needs. We do prenatal vitamins. We do a lot of education, just all in one appointment.
And that has to be very beneficial, because I could see somebody maybe getting their test results and then say, I'm out, kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want to do. Most of them come in and they either think, I cannot have a baby, this better be a negative test, or, just there's across the board, the people that we get. And as I think Paula said one time, we get women who are married and have good jobs, college education, and we get girls who are living on the street. So there is no filter there. You come, we meet you wherever you're at. We give you the information you need. We do a lot of education of, options, what's happening. And they say that someone with really good information makes better decisions.
Yeah. Knowledge is power, as they
That's
say.
right. And that's what we are there for. We are there to give that woman all of the information she needs to make a great decision. And then also, a lot of girls aren't covered by Medicaid or any insurance, but if they're pregnant, they could be. And so by coming early, we can get them into insurance and we can get them into prenatal care earlier than they would be if they just waited around. So win-win all the way around. We give them prenatal vitamins, 6 months worth. Wow. So, yeah.
And you talk about meeting them where they are. You also have a mobile clinic, right?
We do, and that's pretty new. We've had it a little over a year, and it's been a game changer because we can go to the girls who won't come to the clinic. And right now, we are out 5 days a week with that mobile clinic. And so to be able to reach people, they may have never heard of us, but they drive by and they see this big, beautiful pink.
Yeah.
And it is. It's big and beautiful and pink.
That's good.
and they are able to get all the same services on the mobile clinic that they get in the brick and mortar. So we have trained medical personnel there, both locations.
How do people find out where the mobile clinic's going to be, or how does that work?
Okay, right now it's pretty scheduled, but if you go on our website, evawomensclinic.com, there's a special place that you can up to date, and if we were closed tomorrow for some reason, it would be updated so where you would know that. And so you can go on there and tap that button and see exactly where we are and the hours and things like that.
That's great.
Also, you could call or text 330-915-6520, and that will get you in touch with a scheduler. One of the new things we have is that, as much as we'd like to be, we're not there 24/7. But we now have nurses who are.
Oh, great.
Online 24/7. If you text that line, you will be in touch with a nurse who can answer the questions that you would be asking us and get you scheduled into our clinic as soon as possible.
And where's the clinic located?
Well, we have one in Akron, along with APS that Kayla was talking about, but we have one on Cleveland Avenue. It's right across the street from the post office and Malone. And then, like we said, the mobile clinic, it goes into Canton South, it goes into Cuyahoga Falls, Akron, it's all over the place.
All right. Well, lots of good information and the websites. And honestly, this is something that if you know someone needs to take advantage of this, do it. Tell them about it. Pass along the information. Candy, Stephanie, Paula, and Kayla, thank you so very much for coming in today. And we appreciate being part of Spotlight on WHBC.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. Life doesn't always go the way we expect. Storms come our way, whether from our own doing or from no fault of our own. These seasons of loss, regret, and pain can feel heavy and are hard to carry alone. Hi, I'm Stephanie Libertor, Director of Hope and Healing. Whether you're grieving, overwhelmed, or simply in need of someone to talk to, the good news is there is hope and healing. You are not alone. Call or text 330-834-8224 or visit us at hopefordeeperhealing.com.
On Saturday, January 24th,